I was gonna do the hello, hello, hello.
No, mine was a lot more fun. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Here we are now, entertainers, avocado and potatoes.
Welcome to Wait. I have seen it before.
Our first triple threat.
Yes, we didn't think we would get to episode 10. I mean, we did think we would get there. Like, these are supposed to be the sentiments you have when you do this kind of shit.
Yeah, and because of that, we're gonna do our first triple threat, which is 3 movies that have no. They're connected to each other, but
because superhero movies.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the 3 movies. It's about something even bigger in general. Yeah, let's just get into it because there's a lot to talk about.
Yep. First of all, before we get to it, do you like superhero movies or not?
That was mine.
Oh.
Sorry. Yes, I did. I don't know if I do anymore, but I've always been a big Marvel fan. Like ever since I was a kid, I always played that PlayStation 1 Spider-Man game. I always tried and find the comics, read them. I'm self-professed more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, but I enjoy superheroes in general.
I'm the opposite.
Ah.
I like DC more.
Yeah.
Because of Batman.
Because everybody fucking loves DC because of fucking Batman.
Of course they do.
Of course I get it, because he's more believable on one.
And he's cooler, honestly.
No, he's not.
He's much cooler. To be honest, I love superhero movies. 3 of them are in my top 100 movies.
Yeah.
Actually, 3. No, 4. There's Batman. Tim Burton's Batman, by the way. Logan. And before Logan, it was Watchmen, so you know.
Basically the same thing.
Logan is better, though.
Obviously.
Batman Returns. I almost said Forever. Batman Returns. And The Avengers. The 2012 Avengers.
Yeah.
I love superhero movies.
In contrast to Martin Scorsese, Denis Villeneuve. Let's see. Ronald Emmerich recently had some comments about it.
Okay. Scorsese, I can understand. Villeneuve, Denis, I can understand.
Jane Campion, you can understand.
Yeah. Roland Emmerich can go suck shit. You, out of everyone who can complain about superhero movies ruining cinema, you can't fucking do it. Because you made fucking Independence Day. Your whole shit was the prototype for the superhero movies.
One of the many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Roland Emmerich. He's like a cultured Michael Bay.
Cultured Michael Bay. Oh, man.
Scorsese, I still can't understand.
I think it's because it's a fad. Like, just like Westerns were back in the day.
I agree, but that's why I don't understand it. There is this documentary about Hammer movies.
Yeah.
Which you can see a Scorsese in it. A young Scorsese in the 1990s. And he says, whenever we went to see a movie and there was the Hammer logo, we knew it was something special. And like, motherfucker, this was the same.
Yeah, it's like, I do generally think it's because of age, like,
It's possible.
And the fact that their superhero movies are so, how do you say it? In Farsi we say ishba. I forgot the English thing.
They're saturated.
Yes. They're they're oversaturated in today's film market. Like,
I agree. They do get a lot of the budget.
You have 4 Marvel movies each year, and then you have 3 DC movies too.
I mean, this year we had 4. Next year, are we gonna have 4 again?
DC or
No,
Marvel?
Marvel.
Marvel next year is quite busy. Like, you have Doctor Strange is gonna kickstart it off.
Oh, fuck you.
And there's actually I'm quite. That's the only movie I was excited about in the Phase 4.
Because of Sam Raimi?
And I like Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange in general. But
Benedict Bandersnatch.
Benedict Bandersnatch. Yes, we're both fans of superhero movies.
But I have a huge but there. I'm fucking tired of them.
Yeah, me too.
I watched 3 movies for this episode. I couldn't care less about MCU at this point. Phase 4 is a mess.
It has certainly started that way.
I mean...
let's preface something else too. I haven't watched any of the shows. You just watched Loki, so
I
there's
watched
that
only
too.
Loki.
There's that too.
And I watched Loki because I like Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
There is no the same reason you want to watch Doctor Strange. I watched Loki because of that. And it's not good. That show is not very good.
Yeah, I guess. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
We should start with the first film then. Black Widow.
Or Too Little, Too Late.
Maybe a bit too much too late.
Yeah.
This movie should have came out like after Civil War.
I'd say even before that.
Even before?
Why not in Phase 1?
I don't know. Like this, it just felt so pointless.
Exactly.
It
has no tension because you know nothing in it
will affect anything. Like, if you're a Marvel fan, the only thing you need to know about this movie is the post-credit scene. That's it.
And even that is like for a show. It's for Hawkeye the show.
I mean, she's gonna probably appear in future movies, but yeah.
Okay, she's an assassin.
She's the replacement.
Okay, that's the problem with MCU Phase 4. So far, everything we've had is replacements.
Yeah, more or less.
Eternals are gonna be a new Guardians, and
let's just not stray too far from Black Widow. So, truth is, I was kind of looking forward in a way that's I haven't seen a spy thriller in a while, a good one at least,
and you still haven't,
and I still haven't, which is quite unfortunate. This movie could have been a small self-contained story too, even though it was late. But
a character study.
Yeah, superhero movies have that benefit. Like, you have an OP dude or gal, okay, but you can combine it with other genres. You know, you can combine it with westerns and have Logan. You can match it up with sci-fi space operas and get Guardians of the Galaxy.
Actually, you mentioned Logan. This movie needed to be like Logan, about one guy, in this case one girl, and her relationship with the world that she grew up in. And to the movie's credit, there are like 2 scenes that does that. One of them is David Harbour talking to
the dinner scene.
No, after that, when he talks to Yelena.
Oh, okay.
And he says, you know, what you didn't do anything for us. You were the only family I had, stuff like that. And then he sings the song. I don't remember the song. American Girl. I don't remember the song.
Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, and he sings the song, and it's such a touching scene. And David Harbour is so good, and Florence Pugh is it Florence Pugh?
Yes, Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh is so good in it that I'm like, why isn't the whole movie like this? Because I'm sorry.
I think it starts promising. Like,
oh yeah.
I forgot Scarlett Johansson's name.
Rachel Weisz.
No, no. The character name.
Natasha Romanoff.
Natasha. It starts with her escaping from Shield, I think.
Yeah, no.
And
It's from Ross. It's from William
Agent
Hurt.
Ross, yeah. It starts with that, and she's trying to find a safe space. You know, it seems like Jesus, sorry.
It seems like we're gonna get a Mission Impossible movie or James
A
Bond
competent spy thriller.
James Bond or Mission Impossible, because I don't.
Maybe a bit more towards those Luc Besson movies like La Femme
Nikita.
Nikita, yeah. But then it gets so far up its own ass. You're like,
Okay, I want to have a word with any Marvel executives who is listening to this.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah. If your movie is a prequel, your end of the world threat doesn't work because the world doesn't end by the next movie. Same goes for DC, by the way.
Yeah.
This is why your fucking what was that movie? Aquaman movie doesn't make fucking sense.
Or Shazam, kind of.
It's okay. DC is a mess, and we'll get to that at some point. But MCU at this point is so formulaic that the problem with the next movie we're going to talk about is exactly the fact that it's part of MCU. Otherwise, it would have been a great movie.
I guess so.
But okay.
Regarding Black Widow.
Regarding Black Widow, first of all, this movie is incredibly disjointed. Like, the action scenes are disconnected from drama scenes in a very obvious way. Like, it's obvious that the action scenes were almost directed by another person. The camera is horrendous in this movie, by the way.
Yeah, the choreography is not on par with some of the better stuff we've seen in this.
The thing
universe.
is, I understand why the director, Kate Shortland, did it. It would have been great if it was a character study, that shaky camera. Oh, we're gonna show the tension in this family. But the problem with this movie is that it's not a character study about family drama. It's an action movie.
It's a fucking filler.
Yeah, it's a fucking filler. It's basically contractual obligation. We promised her we're gonna make her a movie. We need to make her a movie.
Yeah, and it's so sad. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
because actually, Scarlett isn't that bad in this movie.
She's herself.
Yeah.
She's
Florence Pugh is not that bad. Rachel Weisz
because
is not
she's
that.
these are the cast is actually quite well done. Like
The villain is actually not that bad. Ray Winston,
Yeah, Ray
which I don't know. What is your thoughts on it? Do you have any thoughts on the
I
guy?
mean, I think he's in general a good actor. I'm not. I don't follow him closely.
I actually, weirdly enough, I think I do. Because he was in a lot of movies that I didn't know he had any place to be. He was in The Proposition. He was in Beowulf. He was Beowulf.
Yeah, I know that.
And so, he's a good actor. And here,
He's basically in like one scene,
yeah, he has one good
10
scene.
minutes.
Yeah. Olga Novaya,
You mean
Lara Croft.
Kurylenko?
Olga Kurylenko, Lara Croft.
Lara Croft?
Wasn't she Lara Croft?
No.
Who was
That
Lara
was
Croft?
Alicia Vikander.
Oh god, I keep confusing these two. Who was she then? She was in the movie with Jeremy Irons. I can tell you what, he was in The
She was in
Correspondence.
Oblivion, Death of Stalin, The Man Who Killed Don Quixote,
Oh yeah!
Seven Psychopaths, To the Wonder, which you fucking hate.
I mean, she was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's famous.
She's barely in the movie too, and I'm sure
With a mask.
that when there's a mask, it's not her. It's not her when there's a mask. It's a stunt
Probably.
woman, man. I mean,
Some
a stunt person. I'm saying that because I don't know. I don't know why I was saying that.
That's stunt man and woman reminded me of the joke in Hot Fuzz. We decided not to genderize the genderized job title, so we said police force, but it was too forceful, so there's police unit. Anyway,
they're good in the. David Harbour is the saving grace of the movie. He has the best funny lines. He has the most fun on the screen, and he's the best part of the movie for me.
I think he's okay. Like,
the funniest scene is for him definitely.
which one?
At the dinner scene.
Oh,
He first of all he barely fits into his outfit.
yeah.
He comes and sits, and everyone is talking about this very important stuff. He starts eating.
Yeah.
Like, it was obvious I think out of everyone, and I'm not saying that others were bad, but I'm saying out of everyone, he probably wanted to be there the most.
I guess so. I don't know. Like, people were there. I don't know what's again. That's the problem. I don't know what the intention of making this movie was besides that contractual obligation that you mentioned. Like,
Yeah, and adding a few, as you said, replacement.
Florence Pugh, despite being a great actress, seemed lost for a lot of the movie. Rachel Weisz seemed a bit bored at times.
Which could be Russian. I want you to act Russian. Okay, I'm bored.
David Harbour, while he was having fun, I agree with that. Just didn't match the energy of the movie at all. Like,
to quote our last episode, he was like from a whole different movie.
yeah, exactly. And this kind of mishmash and disjointed thing, especially for the first movie of a new phase, a new dawn for the cinematic universe.
Don't get me started on that.
It just was extremely underwhelming for me, and I think for you too.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't want to don't like it. I knew it was gonna be tensionless because whatever you do, Natasha needs to survive and get to Endgame, yeah. But also another thing, I talk about this a lot more when we get to Eternals, that the state of MCU is like lost at this point. Because
I don't think it's lost. I think it's do you consider lost and directionless the same thing?
yeah.
Okay, then it's lost.
It's so far up his own ass that we didn't need this to be an action movie. Not every Marvel movie needs to have an end of the world threat and an action.
A gigantic thing in the sky that falls down.
Yeah.
That was the part that I was like, yeah, no, fuck this. Like, you could have had a contained small story. And this is also true for the next movie we're going to talk about.
Oh, that movie has like 10 minutes at the end that ruins the whole thing.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and also, in this movie in particular, action wasn't even that good. So, it was boring, normal Marvel action stuff. A lot of CG, a lot of people doing physics-defying stunts. And even though she's supposed to be not a super soldier, it's a meme at this point that she doesn't get hurt at all in this movie.
Yeah.
Even though falling from like 10 stories high.
Yeah, it was
not a good movie.
Do you recommend it?
No, even for hardcore, unless you're one of those hardcore Marvel fans that sees every show and stuff like that, you're gonna see it. You're not waiting for me to recommend it.
You've probably seen it 1,000 times up till now. I just think you need to watch the final post-credit scene. You're good to go.
I don't even think you need to see that.
Just read it from Wikipedia.
Yeah, read it from Wikipedia. Or I'm pretty sure in the next movie they'll probably mention it.
Oh, look! It's Natasha Romanoff's sister.
Yeah.
Whatever her name was, which I can't remember. Yelena.
I only remember it because of David Harbour.
It's
sad. Oh, okay.
But it's sad. Let's take a look.
The 10 rings gave our family power. If you want them to be yours one day, you have to show me you are strong enough to carry them.
You are a product of all who came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
And we're back.
And we are.
The next movie, I think there's not much we can talk about Black Widow because a lot of the problems, we put the seeds there, but we need to talk about the next two before we can fully discuss them. Shangchi and the Legend of Ten Rings. So far, the best thing from Phase 4 for me.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't the best Marvel movie, obviously. It probably falls somewhere in the middle in terms of being
I put
enjoyable.
it in the same degree as Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 1 and
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 3 is a little bit lower for me because of the President of the United States stuff. It was so stupid. And it's definitely better than Captain Marvel, better than Black Widow, honestly.
Thor the Dark World.
Yeah, it's at the same level as Thor Ragnarok for me.
Ah, okay.
And it's fun. It's so fucking... The action is so good.
The action is really good. The actors, except for one person...
Who?
Aquafina. I did not like her at all.
Come on!
She was too much. Like, you have a good comic relief, and then you have a bad comic relief. She was one of the worst ones.
I actually did not mind her. Because I think she had a really good chemistry with Simu Liu.
Yeah, I don't know.
To be honest...
I haven't seen Aquafina in any other thing ever.
Really?
Like, I was...
Crazy Rich Asians?
No, I really want to watch The Farewell, which I think she got a Golden Globe or something for it. I never got that.
She was also in the second Jumanji movie.
I haven't seen that one either.
Oh.
Anyways.
I did mind her.
She was just too much.
I can understand that. I can really understand that because there have been other times where other comic reliefs have gotten on my nerve a lot, including one of my favorite movies, in Up. I hate the dog.
You do?
I really hate the dog.
Damn.
I don't like him. I think he's the worst part of that movie.
Let's disagree with that.
No, I'm just saying that I understand.
Yeah,
everybody loves him, and he's fun. I think the thing that really made me like her again was the chemistry, because they did feel like friends, even though the dialogue was unnatural between them. They felt like friends, like they knew how to work off of each other.
I think there were some good decisions in the fact that they were not romantic partners.
Oh yeah,
that was a real good decision they made.
Actually, there were more sexual tensions between Simu Liu and his sister. In Shangchi and his sister. Speaking of old boy.
But yeah, I really like the actors. They clearly had a lot of fun with the roles they had.
Yeah.
The main villain with
Tony Long is Zhu Wenwu.
Yeah, he was really good. I really liked him.
He was one of the better Marvel villains.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, great performance. Like, a great performance. He was charming as fuck for a villain, which we don't have a lot of in Marvel except of Loki.
Well, we did have Hela too, but
Hela wasn't charming.
Oh, she was. Believe me.
I knew she was hot, but she wasn't charming. Like, she didn't have a lot of charm in her. She was more menacing. But Wenwu is very charming. He has a very good backstory, very good motivation,
Yeah.
and it's actually very understandable. He's a very believable bad guy.
Yeah, he was a really good villain.
And it's such a shame that he wasn't the fucking final boss. Okay. The last 10 minutes of this movie
is what ruins the whole movie.
Yeah. First of all, until that last 10 minutes, it doesn't feel like a MCU movie, and that's when it's at its best. Whenever they try to shove in MCU, they make it bad. We don't need to see Abomination in this movie.
It was okay. Like I didn't. I wasn't offended by it. I guess.
I wasn't offended. I was mostly.
It was a fun cameo. Like, oh look, here's a character we haven't used in like 15 years or something.
First of all, the CG was really bad on him.
Yeah, CG wasn't good though. I really actually like Benedict Wong because I really like the dude in general. So
yeah, he was good, but the problem I have with having Abomination there, it was eye rolling for me. It was like, yeah, this movie doesn't feel like Marvel. Okay, shove in a character. Which one? I don't know, one that nobody cares about. Let's put Abomination in. It could have easily been like a Chitauri fighter. It would have been the same. So I did like the other MCU reference, which was Ben Kingsley doing a Liverpool accent.
they redeemed his character though. It
Yeah.
was so fun. I really like Ben Kingsley.
Me too, but the Liverpool accent was great. It was like all four Beatles at the same time.
Yeah, it was really
We're
good.
from Liverpool.
I really he was, I think, the comic relief done right in this movie.
Yeah.
Not too much. Really funny, especially where he thinks he's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
There are two parts. It's really fun. It's really good.
I did Macbeth. and they let me live.
And yeah, it's just a fun movie. I gave it 3 stars. I don't know how.
Yeah, you did 3. I did 3 too.
Yeah.
And I do recommend checking it out. But again, the thing that really brings it down is the last 10 minutes. At the last 10 minutes, there is an end of the world threat that they beat in like 10 minutes.
With Fim Fam Foom. It's the name of the dragon.
Oh, okay. That sounded almost racist.
I mean, it is a racist name, but you know,
Yeah.
they name it that. What am I supposed to do?
It's... I don't know why you needed to have that. Why
Yeah,
did
it was
add?
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think the best way to end it is when, well, Shangchi defeats the fucking 10 rings.
or obtains them, to be
No,
more
he
precise.
obtains them when Wenwu gives
Yeah.
it to him. You don't need that. You just need to defeat Wenwu.
Yeah, exactly.
And why not have a redeemed, not a villain that you later realize, yeah, we should redeem them, like Loki. Because one of the problems I have with Loki is that you took a villain
You
and
made him a
redeemed
hero.
him, and then you redeemed him again in a TV show for completely unnecessary reasons. It feels like, and this is from Some More News. I don't know if you watch the channel or not.
I haven't.
They did a fun thing about Marvel, like if the Some More News was in the world of Marvel. It's really fun. They have done one for Star Wars,
Yeah.
which was also fun. And it's their criticism of the MCU, but I do agree with that. It's like every villain is getting redeemed.
Yeah.
Abomination is redeemed. I'm pretty sure pretty soon we're gonna see
Thanos.
Dormammu. Oh, Thanos, with his brother.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see Dormammu.
You know
I've
what's
come
the
to bargain.
funny thing though? Actually, I'm gonna let the funny thing rest for Eternals because
Oh.
yeah, this
Okay.
is something that I realized when I watched the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like we are gonna. MCU is so. Okay. I'm trying to find the best words to describe it. You know how the worlds of comics are really convoluted and hard for anyone to get into?
Yeah.
I think we're at that point where the movies are exactly following the same thing.
Yeah.
You add the multiverse, you basically lost.
And since you have done that,
Yeah. Because now, after Endgame, it feels like every Marvel movie needs to have a thread that is bigger than the last one. We can't have a spy thriller about family relationship. No. It needs to be about this castle in the sky that's falling down. We can't have a father being very obsessed with power and having what he wants, and so he ruins his son's life and his daughter's life. No. It needs to be this
two dragons fighting.
Yeah, two dragons fighting. This embodiment of darkness getting released out of this ancient Chinese prison, which is the plot of fucking Kung Fu Panda. The first one is literally the guy coming.
I know.
What the fuck is that? That was Ian McShane.
But
It's
you
still
do
fun.
recommend it.
I do recommend it. I think if you're gonna watch any of the Phase 4 movies, excluding Spider-Man because I haven't seen it yet, watch Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I do recommend it too. It's good times.
It's good times, yeah, but it's really worrying. Superhero fatigue is a real thing, and it's slowly getting in. But we'll get to that when we get to. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
And you're back.
And we're back.
I'm back.
There's
There's an elephant in the room.
does this elephant shit in the jungle?
And that elephant is called the... It's not even it's just Eternals.
Eternals.
I have so much to talk about this movie. And not much of it is good.
Of course it's not. This movie is insultingly stupid. First of all, for a diverse cast, quote unquote, there were a lot of white people in there.
You know, this is actually like the first movie that has a gay superhero, the first movie that has
An Indian, Pakistani superhero.
technically the first DC movie that was developed by Marvel. If you got that dig.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And
Also,
man,
by the way, that gay superhero thing, I don't want to make this too political. Why not? Let's make it political.
let's make it.
China doesn't like gay people.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not alone. Russia also doesn't like them. Iran doesn't like them. The way they showed the gayness of Fastos, the homosexuality of Fastos, felt really easy to cut around.
Slight,
Yeah, easy to cut around.
because it was.
Yeah. So it wasn't really a milestone. Oh no, we finally have our first gay. No.
He's just, he kisses one guy in one scene. That's
Yeah,
it.
and you can cut that out and change the dialogue to the two friends that share the brothers that sharing the baby.
At first, before it made sense that
They are gay.
they were gay, I thought it was his son for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it could have been because that's the intention,
Yeah, probably.
and that's why I don't like. That's why I hate Disney. Because of
they put inclusion just to say that we have inclusion.
Exactly. Their first female superhero movie was a mess compared to the male counterpart, which was Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Their first female superhero that got a movie got fucked over, which was Black Widow.
Yeah.
Their first Chinese superhero movie had people just casually speaking English in the middle of the sentences because they're supposed to learn it.
Yeah.
Because American people don't like to read subtitles. And here, their first diverse superhero team is still how many white people? There is Icarus, Cersei, Durig.
I mean, Cersei
Sprite.
is technically Asian. Gemma Chan.
I mean, she's British though, isn't she?
She's British, but she looks Asian.
Oh my god.
I mean, she wasn't Crazy Rich Asians too, so I don't know.
I mean, like, you have Angelina Jolie,
Yeah,
you have Sprite. So a lot of them are still white.
yeah.
And the Korean guy is the only one that. No, also the Spanish lady. Is she Spanish?
I don't think
Hayek.
she's Spanish.
Hayek is Spanish.
Salma Hayek is Mexican.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm
Because for the longest
70%
time,
sure. Not,
and this is very racist of me to say, I used to think Antonio Banderas was Mexican
no, he's
because
Spanish.
because he played with Robert Rodriguez.
Right.
Robert Rodriguez is Mexican, and so
You can check it.
yeah, we can check. He's a Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Mexican. And she's hot. I'm gonna say. But, okay.
First of all,
Virtue signaling is a problem. I'm sorry. This got really on my nerve. And also, this movie is
we started this series talking about Dune. Sorry, what did I say? Doom. I think this is actually Chloe Zhao's Dune. And by that Dune, I mean Dune 1984.
David Lynch's dude. Chloe Zhao's David Lynch's dude.
I haven't. Granted, before Eternals, I only saw one movie, and I wasn't a big fan of it, Nomadland, which won her an Oscar.
Haven't seen it.
But she is a talented director. I actually like her herself a lot more than her movies. Like, she's quite a nerdy person. Like when she was talking about this inspiration for Nomadland, she talked about walking simulators.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I can see that actually. I can see how that might have, affected you.
For this one, she didn't say. I watched this movie called Justice League.
But she did.
Oh fucking
Or
hell.
to be more precise, one of her sources of inspiration was Man of Steel. And that is very apparent in the movie.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. Like, in many, many senses, this is a DC movie more so than a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And by DC movie, I mean a shitty DC movie. The one you're used to.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, one of the worst movies ever made.
BVS.
Yes. And
It even ends the same way. That one they save their mother. In this one they save their love.
yeah.
Love conquers all. I'm not against that concept as in storytelling, but here it felt wrong.
Because there was no chemistry. There was no relationship that was good. I forgot. The first Marvel movie that has a sex scene.
Oh my god.
Never forget.
Yeah, that will make Soderbergh proud.
Oh man.
By the way, Steven, just say you want to see Robert Downey's dick, man. Come on.
Yeah, this movie is a mess. Like,
Yeah.
the most messy movie I've seen from Marvel.
On a
In
technical level, it's ugly as fuck.
Yeah. Especially there's this fight scene in the middle of the movie in a jungle, and jungle's fucking dark. You can't see shit. It's not good.
Yeah. And on top of that, as I said, the camera has two settings: very far away, or let's see how many nose hairs our actors have. Like you know, there is like a place in the middle of this too.
And by the way, if you want to watch this movie, don't watch it in IMAX format because that was extremely distracting for me, at least. Like in Nolan movies, you usually what you do is you always do the action scenes IMAX format, and then you cut to
35 mil.
yeah, 35-minute normal scenes. This movie doesn't do that. In the middle of a fucking action scene, you suddenly cut into a 35 millimeter. You're like, it's really jarring. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Not a good movie. Not a good.
The cast.
Oh my god, the fucking cast. First of all,
There are talented people there.
I don't have anything against any of these people personally, except I really don't like Richard Madden. But
That's a big but.
yeah, they suck. The only one who is having a bit of fun is Kumail Nanjiani.
And it's because he's supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, and he's a valet, Karun.
Yeah.
Which-
The comic relief.
Yeah, and first of all, Pitch Meeting made this joke, but it's very.
I haven't actually seen the pitch
yeah.
meeting yet.
It says let's make Kumail Nanjiani get all jacked and have him wear his shirt at all time. He doesn't get shirtless. Oh, and the dancing. Oh my god.
That was something.
Okay. I think the first thing you need to realize about Bollywood movies is that not all of them are masterpieces. A lot of them are not masterpieces. But when they have a dance scene and it's supposed to be big, it's fucking big. Dil Say has a dance scene on a fucking moving train. It's not five guys doing shoulder movements. And that gives me sort of a, again, back to the diversity thing, like they didn't care about making an actual Bollywood star.
No, and it doesn't make sense either. Like, at some point in the movie, he says, "Oh, look, it's my great grandfather and the grandfather, and then whatever." It's like, no. Why do you look so much like it? Like, did nobody question that for like 85 years, 100 years, whatever?
I mean, you don't see Kirk Douglas and see Michael Douglas, and like they're two different people.
Yes,
they don't
they
look the
look
same.
very different from each other.
Yeah, Michael Douglas is much hotter.
Like, the story doesn't make sense in that regard, and the
The
actress
story, don't even mention the fucking.
No, I should.
Yeah,
Because-
it was more in the sense that fuck, it's that does that suck.
The story is another run-of-the-mill Marvel thing. Like, there's an end-of-the-world threat. These are your heroes. Go and fight.
Except you don't know any of them, and because there are so many of them, you don't give a shit about any of them.
Yes, because, they're not developed
Charismatic.
well.
No.
Yeah, neither charismatic nor developed well. Like,
Yeah.
you have fucking Barry Keoghan in the movie, and,
Was it Duke?
yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
And he,
For some reason, at the middle of the movie, he decides, no, I'm gonna go rogue and walk away.
yeah.
Why? Because you saw people kill each other, but like the scene before that, you were okay with it?
Like, there are concepts that, like, his superpower is he can control people. And,
Yeah.
if you can control people, then you can be a benevolent leader and stuff like that. But that is not at all explored in this movie.
They wax philosophics in the same way that Matrix Reloaded waxed philosophics, is that they're flaws. It's what makes them human. I'm like, yeah.
Here's an idea. Like, here's eternal love. What can we do with it, Chloe? Nothing.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. And let's not even get to the fact that the movie's logic doesn't make sense. Like, Avisham's plan is stupid.
It is beyond stupid. And the funny thing is that this dude, Ashram, whatever.
Avisham,
whatever the fuck his name was, is yet another cosmic being in a world that has Dormammu, that has those fucking dragons, that has Thanos, that is going to introduce Galactus in the future.
And there are multiverses. So
and there are multiverses.
And you haven't seen Loki, but there was the one who remains.
Oh, God. And there's Mephistopheles probably in the new Marvel movie.
Oh, and don't forget,
the
WandaVision has
movie.
its own version of stuff.
It's jarring, you know? Like,
It's too big.
It's shoehorning so much stuff in. Like, we haven't forgotten about Dormammu.
Yeah. And, you know, again, since Thanos, it should have ended there. I know it wouldn't ever because of the amount of money they can make.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it should have ended there. It's not good. It's a bad movie.
Let's see. What else
My
can I
worst
say?
movie of the MCU has been, for the longest time, For the Dark World.
Yeah. This movie
Eternals-
takes the cake.
Eternals is worse than that. Because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, For the Dark World was actually fun at some points. This movie is not fun at all. Like, there isn't any of the Marvel jokes even.
There are very few. And, I forgot about the fucking Star Wars thing. There are references to other media. Like, there are references to DC Comics. That is, at some point, someone says, you have a cowl like Batman. And Richard Mann is like, no, I don't wear any cows.
No. It says Superman.
Like Superman.
He wears a cape and he shoots lasers. I don't wear a cape. No. I don't. I can't
Cow,
do a
cape, whatever the fuck.
No, I can't do a Scottish accent. I started to.
No, it's okay. And what was the Batman thing? Your superheroes like Batman or something?
They mentioned Batman.
Yeah, like they mentioned rival IPs. You're like, this is... you just threw me out of the movie. What do they call it? My suspension of disbelief has been broken to pieces.
Yeah. It's too suspended now.
It's hanging and just going everywhere. There are so many problems with this movie that I cannot fathom how it made through someone like Kevin Feige. And, you know, some of the things that I've learned about the development of this movie is that Zhao was given a lot of freedom on some of the things. So I imagine that...
She wrote the screenplay too.
Yes, and if you notice in the...
They wrote her name twice.
Yes, exactly. In the final credits, they write her name twice. I don't know why.
I think it's that she wrote once, then the second time she wrote it with another one, and then...
Two other people wrote it again. There was a lot of freedom for her to do what she wants, so I can't lay all the blame on Kevin Feige.
I guess this is what she wants. A very boring movie about nothing.
Yeah.
First of all, again, there are too many characters. Too many characters.
Like, apparently they want to do another Guardians, but more serious. Because...
But the reason Guardians work...
The amount of factions in the Marvel universe is not enough, apparently.
The thing is about Guardians.
Yeah.
The reason that it works, it's because there is no end of the world threat.
Yeah, in neither movies. It's like, it's
Yeah.
a lot more personal.
Yeah. Yeah, in second world, Ego is eating the plant, but it's happening somewhere else.
Yeah.
And, this is another thing. Guardians are incredibly stereotypical. You have your idiot cool dude. You have your tech V's. You have your idiot muscle. You have your cool ass lady. these are not that.
Yeah.
They want to have characters. What is the character of Gilgamesh? That he likes to bake, I guess.
He's good at cooking.
What is the character of Fina? She's Angelina Jolie. You should care. I barely care about Angelina Jolie outside of Gia. What is the character of Ajax? She's supposed to be the motherly figure, but we never see her do anything motherly. Other than when she loves Richard Madden, Gemma Chan needs to say she loved you, because if you the first rule of movie making, tell, don't show.
Yeah.
It's a bad fucking movie.
And I forgot some of the other first.
Oh,
Lowest scoring Marvel movie that led to it becoming the first rotten certified Marvel movie. And also the lowest selling Marvel movie, apparently. Lowest selling Marvel movie. With a budget of 200 million, I think it sold 400 or something.
yeah. It deserved less.
Yeah,
It
it's
should have been bombed.
quite a lot. And it's just, I don't know.
The only reason they did it is because of Harry Styles. The next movie. Spoiler alert, by the way, but you're not gonna watch this shit.
I genuinely wanted this movie to succeed. Like, there is potential there for these kind of stories.
Eternal Love?
No, not eternal love. There's a thread, very, very thin thread of existentialism in the whole story.
Oh, yeah. The Kingo says, what are we gonna do if we kill it? We're gonna stop a lot of more
Yeah,
wars being
like,
created.
are we gonna stop the creation of new life?
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
It goes nowhere.
It goes nowhere. Like, we're robots, basically. We're robots from created
Forge.
by whatever
Are you
the
sure?
fuck. No, they had a name, like Celestials.
Yeah,
We're
Celestials.
robots. We're robots created by Celestials. Do we have willpower or
And apparently
something?
Thanos is one of them. Oh, by the way. Okay. Thanos in the comics is an Eternal.
Yeah.
Here, he's born on the planet Titan in MCU.
Yeah.
How is his brother an Eternal?
Well,
Unless they retcon that,
you're
in
gonna
that
have
case,
to find out in the next
fucking-
episode of Marvel
it's
shenanigans.
it's episode. It's no longer movies.
Yeah.
And again, you don't try to understand where does it fit in the whole narrative of MCU. It's a mess. It's lost. It doesn't know where to go, because you had your big bad guy that you built 11 years up to.
Yes, but we need another big bad guy.
Yeah, and so far we've had 3. Not. I'm not talking about Ray Winston. I'm talking about the one in Loki.
Oh, okay.
So we had these 3, and they're all bigger than Thanos, stronger than Thanos. Oh my god, so much worse than Thanos. And what's the point? What's the point? Nothing matters in MCU anymore.
No, I guess at some point it's gonna fail, and I
Yeah,
hate
it's
to see
possible.
that day, but it might be on its way there.
It's not might be. It is.
But when is it? Like, is it 5 years from now, 10 years from
Just look at MCU itself. Okay, right now, Phase 4. We've had 4 movies. With each one, you're getting less and less people excited. Spider-Man is an exception because of the nostalgic factor. If it didn't have Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe in it, I personally wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, probably.
And Sony, on the other hand, is who gives us. It's weird that the best movie of 2021, superhero movie of 2021, was a bromance about a guy and himself. I'm talking about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. I like that movie. But they're doing the vampire thing, right? With
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Morbius.
Yeah. So at this point, it's a bubble that is slowly deflating, because let's not talk about Marvel superfans. They will watch anything. After WandaVision, how many people watched Loki? How many people watched Winter Soldier and Falcon? How many people watched Hawkeye? Like, you're branching so many stuff that at this point you're basically making comic books, but for TV.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't want to see Hawkeye. I don't want to see. I barely want to see the next Spider-Man, and that's again because of Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe with his vampire ass head. Did you see that?
Yeah. It's really good.
That was really good. He's a very good comedic actor. He should do more comedies.
Yeah. I mean, it's his choice.
Yeah.
I wish, I don't know.
It's weird that I'm sorry for saying it like this. I sort of understand what Scorsese means, in the sense that while these movies get almost all of the money in the movie
World, almost
all of the money in the world, the ones that I seem to get back to, like the ones that make me excited about movies, are like A24 movies. The Green Knight.
Did you see the trailer for the new Alex Garland movie?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the new Robert Eggers movie.
Oh, that was fucking awesome. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
that was
see
interesting.
the new Alex Garland trailer, but again, these are, and I know Marvel needs to back off, honestly. If you want
They're going for Secret Wars.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, yeah. If I remember right.
I don't care.
But yeah, that's the problem. Nobody
Because okay, you're going for Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion are a great comic. Okay, I understand. Why should I care?
Because it's the characters that you like.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where we can go back to DC, because problem with DC was that DC did what Marvel is doing now from the start. And so we saw how soon that fell apart. Like, they relied heavily on people's love of comics to bring them in, their pre-knowledge of the characters to bring them in.
Yeah.
And they worked for 2 movies and half.
And that's that.
Yeah. DCU just fell apart, literally.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. But I'm saying that the thing is, Marvel did what Marvel is doing right now, what DC did back then. It's trying to rely heavily on the character you know, the characters you like, just bringing them in, and yeah, it's gonna work for a while because you had a more successful run than DC, but it's done unless you fucking back off and let more creative directors in, more creative storytellers. I mean, they did, and it backfired.
Yeah,
but
exactly. I was about to say that.
I mean, I was talking with a friend of mine about James Bond.
Yeah.
And he said, who do you want to see do a James Bond movie? I said probably Danny Boyle, because he's the more likely one.
Yeah.
But what I really want is Tim Burton's James Bond. It's Wes Anderson's James Bond. It's something like that, because at some point the formula is so tired that you kind of need a shake-up. This is very sad.
It is.
We like this. I like these movies. There was a time I spent like months waiting for Avengers Infinity War. Like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. And right now, I didn't watch any of these movies until this week. I was like, I don't give a shit. Why would I watch this? And you said, no, we need to do this. Okay, now I need to watch this shit.
Yeah.
I was more excited about the Kingsman than I was about Eternals. And both of them disappointed me.
Not equal.
Not equally. Kingsman was more fun than Eternals. That Rasputin in it. Lover of the Russian Queen. There was a man that really was gone.
Yeah, so let's just end it.
Yeah.
On a sour note.
Yeah. Do you recommend Eternals?
I don't. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I wish I could.
If there is a chance to like not recommend it so much that you actively avoid it, I do that. Like if it's playing on the TV, just turn away.
Shut your TV. Don't watch it.
If you're like walking outside and it's playing on a TV, like just run into traffic.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We don't have a plan for our next episode, so we can tease it. Is it gonna be?
Maybe there is some evil.
There is.
In this residence. Or maybe.
No, it's not that.
Or maybe it's Nightmare Alley. I don't know.
No, dude. It's the 100 year of the surprise.
No, that's the after this one.
After this.
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe it's some fucking vampire trying to eat your fucking brains. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
See what we can do. But thank you for listening.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We forgot to tell it the last 2 episodes. So
just do it. Have a common sense.
Yeah.
It really does help us, though. Yeah.
You share this episode, and then since we forgot, go and share our last 2 episodes.
If you did, in case you didn't.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for listening to us, and have a great week.